here. Come here. Well, good morning, everyone. BJ, say hi. Can you say hi? You're not going to say hi today? Speak. No, speak. Well, that's BJ. Spot's right here beside me. Everybody, it is so lush, it's hard to breathe. We've got a break in the 9 days of rain. So humid. But we're going to take a quick look around and see everything is so lush. I've had a lot more discoveries of medicinal plants. My potatoes have exploded. I've got so much to plant, and I tried planting yesterday and I got up to like 3 inches of mud on my boots. So it's very hard to plant when the garden is so wet. Really need to just do pots and things like that. But anyway, let's take a quick look around and I'll show you what the garden looks like first week of May. Hi, BJ. Don't run away. The wild lettuce is just ridiculous. I let one plant go to seed. I had a hard time even making my wild lettuce tincture video last year because I didn't have enough wild lettuce. And now, because I let one plant go to seed, I've got it absolutely everywhere. Wow. I mean, I wish, oh, look at this. This is interesting. A deer ate the top of that off. Maybe they had a pain. You know, wild lettuce tincture is good for pain and sleep, and I do have a video on that, so check that out. Here are the potatoes that we planted. You think there's enough in there? Some of these pieces don't look so great, but it's still here. You see how it came up through it and offered the, you know, a lot of times potatoes will just fall over. But these are so upright, I think, because number one, they're packed closely together, and number two, the netting. Okay, I've got strawberries in 2 beds here, 2 different varieties, and they're supposed to be everbearing, and all that pretty little grass popping up is nut grass, which had to have been dropped by birds because this is completely lined with weed fabric. These are the end of my brassicas over here going to seed. Here are some cool season lettuces. I want to make a great salad today. I also want to make some turnip greens. Over here, this is all volunteer because this bed never got redone. And I've still got asparagus coming up down here, purple asparagus. And I have celery, volunteer celery coming up right here. You have to keep your eyes open. I tell you, you'll have all these weeds and you won't think you've got anything, and then all of a sudden you'll go, wait a minute, that's celery. So whatever this was, it's going to seed. The blueberries are actually loaded. Well, this one is, and this one is, this one, that's loaded down. This one, yeah, I fertilized and, well, we did, fertilized, added wood chips, and they really exploded. But guess what? So did the weeds. This is all nut grass and, well, crabgrass. Crabgrass is my nemesis. So right beside the blueberries is kind of a walkway here, but this particular weed exploded and bloomed, and it's the prettiest weed blooming I have. Well, it's got, I think trefoil is coming up in between it. I recognize this plant when it's not blooming, but when it is blooming, I get confused. Ah, this is corn salad. I did not realize that. You can eat it, corn salad, in your salad before it blooms. I don't know about now. I'm going to have to check on that. But it's just lovely to have it on a border. Look at that. Hopefully you can see the little yellow flowers as well. I believe that's trefoil. And it's just gorgeous. So over here, this is terrace number 1. And we did a lot of work over here. It's been tilled twice. I started putting down this paper because I decided there's just no way to fight the weeds. And I thought, well, the paper, I didn't have enough. So I go to look at ordering some, and it's so expensive. And I already have this other weed fabric, so I may put that down here so we don't have to deal, or at least I don't have to deal. But anyway, this whole thing is going to be tomatoes with here and there like a borage or some other little plant. But basically, these are the tomato terraces that I grow on a string. Right now we have shade cloth because we were trying to work in here. It was so hot. This terrace needs its second or third go over. We've got cannas that are volunteer there and some potatoes growing down there. They're actually in bloom. Let's head down there. But first, you have to see this. Have to see this. Okay. This is that special iris that I talked about. It's the reticulated, I think that's right. Oh, and look, my new tree. I'm so excited. That's my Asian pear. Okay, so we've got a lot of that beaked corn salad blooming here, just gorgeous. And look at this iris. Wow. Gina originally sent this to me, and I planted them out here, and I forgot which one it is because, you know, only when it's blooming do you know which one it is. And I just discovered it yesterday. And it's got quite a few more blooms coming, and I'm thrilled. This is the mulberry, which the deer ate almost all the way back, and it's looking a lot better. So I did a very entertaining video, I thought, of planting this new terrace with potatoes last fall. I'll put the link up in the corner because I hauled all this hay up here, and now they're blooming. They came in the spring. They didn't come in the fall. They came in the spring. There are a few varieties in here, but I only see these white flowers. Of course, the weeds are crazy. This is the wheat. Wait a minute, what is that blooming there? That's just vetch. Vetch is beautiful, 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 but it's so invasive. Wow. Look at those flowers. Have you ever seen anything so stunning? All this is going to get cut as soon as it throws off its seeds, which it's got seed heads now, obviously. What do you think about this weather? Huh? Can you say hi now? Okay, okay. Okay, so this is the flower garden that each year has gotten about 2 feet wider. And it has been tilled and tilled and tilled, and for a couple of years it didn't get so bad with weeds. I did cardboard and wood chips, and that kind of lasted for a couple of seasons, but now it's just, whew. But I got manure and hay put on in the fall, and so I scattered some seeds 2 days ago, so we'll see what comes up. Okay, this is my vineyard, and it was decided, Daryl came over and we just decided to let it do its thing this year, and then at the end of the season I'm going to reset all these posts and put in better wire and get the 4-arm niffin method back up and running, and just hope that I get some grapes this year. Oh, and I did do manure and wood chips here because the whole middle gets full of weeds. Now you two need to stay up there. Don't come down here and follow me, okay? No, don't come follow me. They're hiding under here, but those are the flowers. And once they get, oh, there's a lot of nice ones, wow. But grapes are very susceptible to bugs, Japanese beetles. This is my intentional meadow. I've got a meadow video. I'll put the link up to the top. Right now, what you see blooming mostly is the coreopsis. And I have seeded this with wildflowers a couple of times. But also there's a lot of just the grass and weeds that come up. I've got yarrow over here, I've got yarrow down there, and I've got this widow's cross, which is so pretty. I hate to even step in here right now, but this will get bigger, and it's a succulent that grows over the top of rocks, and as soon as it gets really hot, it dies back and you don't see it. This is the coreopsis. And I assume that this came from one of the wildflower packets of seeds that I scattered over the last 2 years. I've also got phlox, bright red phlox, but I only have 1 or 2. This is what I call orchard number 2. The most successful thing is the redbud tree. Just a quick look at what I've got planted. This is a bed of sunflowers here. I've got a few little ones coming up, along with a few weeds. And these are the Hutterite beans, 2 rows of Hutterite. Hope you can see that. That's a chowder bean. This is the one artichoke that survived from last year. Looking good. Oh, I planted something right here and it didn't make it. Okay. This is my loofah. These were transplants before this rain started. Hopefully they'll pop back. This is my little cluster of perennials. This is coneflower. Coneflower. This is part of the cover crop, but I just kept it. It's so pretty. The phacelia. This is the Sheffield mum and anise hyssop. The insectiary, I call it, has been planted, and you can see I planted a lot of seeds in here and they've all popped up, so it's going to be a real competition to see what makes it, but there's all kinds of flowers in there. Here are my 2 rows of wild goose peas. This is my family heirloom. And I've got to get some hay down quick before the weeds take over. I got some gaps here, I need some more seeds. These are the snap peas, looking good. Not flowering yet, but, and the garlic on the end down here. That'll be ready in late June probably. I mean, look at that clump. You let that go, you don't get that out. There's another one. See those roots? Okay. So down here I planted a butternut, same as the other side. And that's still hanging on, but very yellow. Doesn't look too good. The loofah looks like it's maybe going to do okay. This is butternut. All right, that did not transplant well. I'm going to have to plant more seeds. It was just a wild shot. I have to have okra. You live in the South, you got to have okra. But I see a lot of gaps. Hey, Spot, why don't you fix it? See, BJ's being smart. She knows that's an electric fence. This is planted with painted wapsi, a corn developed by my friend Mark. in Illinois. I put this on here because I didn't get the plants in the ground until it was hot that day. And I thought, okay, just leave this on a couple of days. What I should have done is take it off yesterday. This is my biggest garden, biggest planned garden, I should say. I got stuff growing all over the place, but this is the garden that is protected by an electric fence because it's where I grow corn. You guys gonna make it? Okay, well, I got a lot more of these plants. I just put this here to mark where I planted the corn. I've had a lot of issues growing corn here. Too many to count, but starting with crows eating the seed right out of the ground because they're smarter than we are, you know. They see you down here planting corn seed, they know. Oh yes, they know. In 22, they ate all the corn 3 times. The third time was the charm because I covered it in row cover cloth, pinned it down with rocks, managed to get some sprouts. Well, I had 5 loads of manure dropped. A couple were spread just in this area, so the sweet potatoes and the corn should do really well. This is my side yard. I had 3 osier dogwoods down here and 2 of them died. This one is still alive. I had 3 white eastern pines planted last year. 2 of them died. Let's just walk up here. I want to show you the difference between a first year, this is a first year mullein, and do check out my mullein video, how to make the tincture. I've got so many wildflowers blooming over here. This is a second year plant, and that's getting ready to put up a big flower spike. Look at the size of that thing. Except this is interesting. The tips are brown and curled. Hopefully that didn't affect the flower stalk, which comes up from the center and it goes up 5 or 6 feet tall. And that's where you collect the flowers for the earache oil. Oh dear. That does not look good. This is late bone set, which I haven't had a chance to do a video on, but I've got quite a bit of it. And I will. This mullein looks unaffected by whatever that was. And that's curly dock behind it. Are you foraging through the forest of weeds? You what? What did you say? What'd you say? Yeah. I planted 20 hazelnut bushes, and those are the only 2 that seem to be, now there's a couple more that seem to be alive. I've got 3 pecan trees up there. Every leaf drops, it's just a stick over winter. This, of course, is the perpetual problem with the cistern. It leaks. That has not gotten fixed yet. Stay out of the poison ivy, okay? Yeah, poison ivy loves to grow. You see that over there? Not the tall, that's frostweed on the outside, but the low ground cover is all poison ivy. It grows up the trees. I spotted this lyre leaf sage, and it has been blooming, but it's almost done, as you can see. Got one little bloom left. And that is also a medicinal plant. Okay, here we are at the side garden. When we were tilling, I pulled out some clover and I just dropped it over here, whole clumps of it, and it rooted, and now it's blooming. Okay, so here's the cabbage. I think I pointed this out when I planted it, this is Misha Hilly, and it bolts really fast. So of course I planted it late, so 3 or 4 of them are already bolting. So what I hope to do is just take some leaves, and use the leaves. And I've got a couple of potatoes in here that are volunteer. The other cabbages are coming along, but now it's getting hotter. And much to my surprise, I have all of this is lamb's quarters. Yesterday I planted these 10 roselle. Now these poor plants were the victim of an aphid infestation in my garage, which is where I moved them from the dining room out to the garage to create some more space, and they got hit. Now it does look like there is some life left, but aphids love to attack these tender little leaves right here, which, you know, if you don't have that, you don't have growth of the plant. But it looks like these 10 could possibly recover, so that's why I got them planted finally yesterday. What are you eating? Spot is eating mushrooms. Oh, and you are too? Spot, do you have to eat every single one? Oh wait, here's one. Let me have that one. Come on. BJ, I'm leaving. You got to go to the door to get out. No, you got to go to the door to get out. Come on, let's go. Let's go. If you come, Spot will follow. Come on. Come on out. Come on. Good girl. Come on, Spot. Let's go. Come on. Okay, look at this. I have got to get these weeds cut down. Let's see. Remember this video I just did? Look at that comfrey. It's going to town, and it's way too close to that lilac bush, but you know, it's the first time I did it, and so now I know. All right, we have to go up and fix Tiger's grave. Come on. I'm actually afraid to touch it because there's a anthill all around that. All around the base stone, there's an anthill. Yeah, see? See all those little holes? Oops. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to clean that up. That's actually a little rabbit jumping. I don't know if you can tell. I brought that from California. Remember that banana plant I had? I got it from Daryl. I planted it and then I cut it down. It's coming back. And I discovered and marked this off. Somebody asked me about the cactus, the prickly pear, and I found it. It's obviously been hit numerous times with the mower. Cacti they stay forever and they're just injured forever, so I hope it repairs. So the white irises were stunning, but they're gone. I've got one left, two. Yeah, let me just show you what happened to my fig trees. This is trefoil, T-R-E-F-O-I-L, this yellow stuff. Isn't it pretty? Spot, can I clean your eye, please? No, come here. Come here, come here. Let me see. Spot, let me see. Okay, look, that looks better. Yeah, let me just show you what happened to the figs. I brought them out on a day, 70s, and I thought, okay, you know, they look like they're doing well. A couple of days, they looked like they were enjoying the sun. Day before yesterday, I noticed this. Look, this is sunburn. And it didn't affect the trunk, but most of the leaves. You see the leaves underneath? Yeah, I mean, most of the leaves got affected. So I've got them under the shadow of the porch, just no direct sun under here. These are all the onions that never got planted for lack of time. They're still viable, but now we're into the heat of the summer. She knows something hides in that wood pile. BJ, BJ, what is it? What is it? What is it? Okay, just a quick look. You know, we're in the front. There's my swing. And these are the Lenten rose that I planted earlier in the year when there was nothing here. And then all of these are volunteer anise hyssop. And you know what? If the whole thing turned into just a big anise hyssop bed, I wouldn't even care, because they're so... Ooh, what do we have here? Is that a cicada? Sure looks like it. BJ would love that. Here's some mushrooms. I'm waiting till it's not raining so that I can use the agricultural vinegar on the poison ivy, which is, you can't see it once you mow. So it's in there. I got a lot. I'll show it to you if you have never seen it before. This walkway needs, there it is. This walkway needs to be worked on. The stem is reddish. That's one way you can tell, besides the 3 leaves. The 3 leaves are kind of shiny. This is another form of wild lettuce coming up right here. It doesn't have the sort of variegated edges, and that's poison ivy. Right here at my front door. Just wanted to quickly show you the seedlings that all still have to be planted. Hundreds of plants. There's another tray over there, trays back there, tray over there. Yeah, there's a lot. And there's a couple of trays in the house. Wow, it is, this is like a wet blanket, my hair. Oh, back, whew, sweating. Woo! I just wanted to point out that if you're recently gardening in Tennessee, a lot of people have moved here from big cities, and I was one of them, although I am a native. So I knew, but when you go out, tuck your pants into your socks, and that will help you a little bit. It'll help you a little bit of being protected from chiggers and ticks, and so I always do that. Even if I'm just filming, walking around, I tuck my pants into my socks. That helps a little. I don't want to hardly even mention them because I don't want them anywhere near me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that tour. It's just a quick look because I have so much, and I just kind of wanted to, oh, I didn't even, now I'm looking down there, I didn't even show you my elderberry bushes. We did something different this year. I'll talk about that in another video because there's so much to talk about. I love gardening. I hope you do too. I hope you love this channel and are inspired. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.